other guy you'll be working for made over $1 million. Over $1 million? I could only imagine what an asshole the other guy was. With a sinking heart, I asked, "Who's the other guy?" "Why?" asked my yuppie tormentor. "What's it to you?" All I said was, nothing. I was just, curious. "His name is Mark Hanna, and you'll meet him soon enough." With that, he handed me a stack of 3x5 index cards, each of them having the name and phone number of a wealthy business owner on it. "Smile and dial," he instructed, "and don't pick up your fucking head till 12. Then he sat down at his own desk, picked up a copy of the Wall Street Journal, and put his black crocodile dress shoes on the desktop and started reading. I was about to pick up the phone when I felt a beefy hand on my shoulder. I looked up, and with a single glance, I knew it was Mark Hanna. He reeked of success, like a true master of the universe. He was a big guy, about 6'1", 220, and most of it muscle. He had jet black hair, dark, intense eyes, thick, fleshy features, and a fair smattering of acne scars. He was handsome in a downtown sort of way, giving off the hip whiff of Greenwich Village. I felt the charisma oozing off him. "Jordan?" he said in a remarkably soothing tone. "Yeah, that's me," I replied in the tone of the doomed. "Pond scum first class at your service." He laughed warmly, and the shoulder pads of his $2,000 gray pinstriped suit rose and fell with each chuckle. Then, in a voice louder than necessary, he said, "Yeah, well, I see you got your first dose of the village asshole." He motioned his head toward Scott. I nodded imperceptibly. He winked back. "No worry, I'm the senior broker here. He's just a worthless piker. So disregard everything he said and anything he might ever say in the future." Try as I might, I couldn't help but glance over at Scott, who was now muttering the words, "Fuck you, Hannah." Mark didn't take offense, though. He simply shrugged and stepped around my desk, putting his great bulk between Scott and me, and he said, "Don't let him bother you. I hear you're a first-class salesman. In a year from now, that moron will be kissing your ass." I smiled, feeling a mixture of pride and embarrassment. "Who told you I was a great salesman?" "Steven Schwartz, the guy who hired you. He said you pitched him stock right in the job interview." Mark chuckled at that. "He was impressed. Told me to watch out for you." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Anyway, Sir Scumbag over there was right about one thing. Connecting does suck. I did it for 7 months, and I wanted to kill myself every day, so I'll let you in on a little secret." And he lowered his voice conspiratorially. "You only pretend to connect. You loaf off at every opportunity." He smiled and winked, then raised his voice back to normal. "Don't get me wrong. I want you to pass me as many connects as possible because I make money off them. But I don't want you to slit your wrists over it because I hate the sight of blood." He winked again. "So take lots of breaks. Go to the bathroom and jerk off if you have to." And that's what I did, and it worked like a charm for me. You like jerking off, I assume, right? I was a bit taken aback by the question, but as I would later learn, a Wall Street boardroom was no place for symbolic pleasantries. I said, "Yeah, I love jerking off. I mean, what guy doesn't, right?" He nodded, almost relieved. "Good. That's real good. Jerking off is key. And I also strongly recommend the use of drugs, especially cocaine, because that will make you dial faster, which is good for me." He paused as if searching for more words of wisdom, but apparently came up short. "Well, that's about it," he said. "That's all the knowledge I can impart to you now. You'll do fine, rookie. One day you'll even look back at this and laugh. That much I can promise you." He smiled once more and then took a seat before his own phone. A moment later, a buzzer sounded, announcing that the market had just opened. I looked at my Timex watch, purchased at JCPenney for $14 last week. It was 9:30 on the nose. It was May 1st, 1987. My first day on Wall Street. Just then, over the loudspeaker, came the voice of L.F. Rothschild sales manager Steven Schwartz. "Okay, gentlemen, the futures look strong this morning, and serious buying is coming in from Tokyo." Steven was only 38 years old, but he'd made over $2 million last year. Another master of the universe. "We're looking at a 10-point pop at the open," he added, "so let's hit the phones and rock and roll." And just like that, the room broke out into pandemonium. Feet came flying off desktops. Wall Street journals were filed away in garbage cans. Shirt sleeves were rolled up to the elbows, and one by one, brokers picked up their phones and started dialing. I picked up my own phone and started dialing too. Within minutes, everyone was pacing about furiously and gesticulating wildly and shouting into their black telephones, which created a mighty roar. It was the first time I'd heard the roar of a Wall Street boardroom, which sounded like the roar of a mob.